Commentary for the Grand Prix is presented by Reiks, Kai, and James.
Welcome along, everybody, to today's broadcast. We have made it to the final race of this season. 13 rounds before us have led to a Drivers' Champion in the form of Joseph Murray, but the Constructors' Championship will be decided today, with McLaren and Red Bull the only two teams left in contention. And we could not be at a better circuit in these current circumstances. Interlagos in Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of the few anti-clockwise circuits on the calendar. We have wet weather today for only the second wet race of the season. And from past experiences in real life and in MMS, this race should be very unpredictable, with the nature of the 16-turn circuit capable of catching even the most experienced drivers out. With all that done, let's get to the grid order for the final time in Season 3.
Yes, also a bit of a disclaimer, the mod doesn't have wet weather tires. Well, it has, but it's not for the AI, so just imagine they are on wet tires, okay? Yeah. But nevertheless, on pole position we have Joseph Murray, just proving that he's the world champion, that he is. Yes. Alongside of him is James Smith. Yeah. Sadly lost the championship, but he still can win today. Yeah. And then the rest of it we have Aaron's. I have multiple questions. Too Good, Lithogram, Carrigal, Mondragon, Material, Kabusek, Johnson, Zage, Pereira, Shane McHugh, Agnes, Holstead, De Sturman, Valniak, De Jong, Tomaso, very good qualifying from the Aston Martin driver, Jankowski, Blanc, Eugene, Katikan, and Skinner rounds off the grid. Alrighty then, are we ready for 5 red lights?
I think we are. So, just ignore the little text there. The 5 red lights will start to come on now. Here they come.
Here we go.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, all on ahead of the drivers.
And they're
and
out.
It's lights out, and away we go here in Brazil. And who gets... And it's a good start from Smith, who's straight up into the lead. He's already got past Murray, starting on the inside. And Tuga's also had a very good start and goes up the inside of Aaron's and her teammate. And is up into second place as they all negotiate the first center rest perfectly. And through the flat turn 3 now. And Carrigal's had a good start. Aaron's is down 2 places after his miraculous qualifying appearance, ending up in 3rd place. He's already down to 5th. Just got to kill the AI car spectacularly. There we go. Oh my word. So coming into Sector 2 now, the Red Bull leads. But the other Red Bull, and Marcus Lettergrim, is 6th. That needs to change if Red Bull are to win the Constructors' Championship right now. But McLaren still have 2
is going for a move.
He's going up the inside. This could end in tears at the double right-hander going up the top of the hill. And he's actually under pressure
Material
from
down the inside of him.
Now.
That will
As Mondragon is side by side with the other ran over to Johnson. And Lettergrim
on the outside of Lettergrim,
and Johnson will get it as well. Both runners are going to get past the Red Bull, so Lithogram down to 8th position at the start. It's not been the start that he or Red Bull wanted.
Wide.
And we're coming almost 3 wide, coming now into Junsao, which is the final braking zone on this circuit, and it's an absolute cluster. We've got Agnes trying to make a move on McHugh. We've got one of the Force Indias in there, one of the Ferraris on the inside of Sage.
McHugh.
It's absolute chaos. So, Smith starts lap 2 of this race, and it's a move from Evelyn to get up the inside, and they make contact, and Tugut is just ahead coming into the second bit of the center rest, and Tugut has got past, and she takes the lead of the race on lap 2, as Marco Carrigal has managed to negotiate the other McLaren of Joseph Murray, of course, newly crowned Drivers' Champion. McLaren will be looking to get both championships in this season.
Yeah, I believe it's 8 points gap between Red Bull and McLaren, and at the moment
I believe it's going...
It's 4. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's going to be very close, yeah. But weather at Brazil, it's very notorious for providing extremely entertaining races.
11th.
Mondragon has had a very bad start. While his teammate went up, he started alongside him and dropped down to 11th. He's going round the side of Jack Agnes though, and is back up into the points.
And there's
now
a dive onto Johnson though, and he nearly goes wide. That's Agnes and
Agnes has gone wide, and McHugh goes wide, and Pereira is going to scoop up 2 places there. One of the Aston Martins also runs wide. And he's under pressure from Tim De Jong now, who he had initially passed.
Actually makes the move on De Jong.
He's up to 18th place. So,
to confirm, the gap between Red Bull and McLaren is 5 points in favour of Red Bull. So
5 points in favour of Red Bull.
Look at Pereira though. Look at this.
This is going to be close. Look at Francesco Pereira's Force India. He started in 12th. He's already up to 11th and trying to make a move for the points now. I'd say he's probably been one of the most underrated drivers of the season in that. Force India, which has been trundling around in the lower midfield all season long, apart from the odd fantastic points finish. Aaron's is down to 5th. Carrigal has got past, as Murray's also managed to get back past Carrigal. So McLaren back have their double podium reinstated.
At the moment,
So it's got pass as well.
33 points for McLaren, and for Red Bull it's going to be 33 as well.
So Red Bull would have the championship as it stands
Wait, no, would it be
today.
31? Because
But it's early stages of this
31,
race.
31 points at the moment. So it will be 3 points in between them at the end of this race if it's going to finish like this, but I doubt it.
I mean, we're on lap 3 going to lap 4. There's a long race ahead of us in the wet
33
conditions.
laps.
Anything can happen.
This might be the longest race. Oh, there's two.
We're going for a move here, just to cut you off there. We're going for a move here up the inside. Is the McLaren, having pulled alongside so early on the straight and later on the brakes and passed at the centre S, goes Evelyn Tugu for the second time this race, actually. She retakes the lead, the Red Bull drops down to second, and now that means McLaren would be Constructors' champions as the 7-point swing in points takes place, and Murray's very close to the back. He's going to go for a
at the
move
moment
to
have
turn
the
4.
best car, so
Sensible of him to sit in behind, I think, as Aarons loses another place, this time to the Renault of Matches Material, who has climbed up from his original starting position. Has been a constant theme, I think, this season. We've seen a Renault always doing very well at the start of the races.
Littering.
and Aaron's
something.
having a bit of a battle. There's Kabusek punting.
Absolutely sending one.
There
This
was
is
a bit
like
of
kind
contact
of the
right
snail
there.
section of the circuit. It's still quite challenging.
Kabusek
What is
very
Aaron's
nice.
doing so high up the order?
Dragon's running wide again.
Maybe Aaron's likes wet weather. Oh, there's McHugh going wide.
Oh,
really?
McHugh's run very wide there, doesn't spin.
Tommaso
Tommaso
up
also
to
runs a little
13.
bit wide. And is up into 14th position. We've missed that. He's climbed 4 places since we last saw him.
Jean LeBlanc, meanwhile, started 21st up into 18th.
Now remember, Aston Martin are the only team so far this season to still be on 0 points after Lotus left them for dead in Canada, picking up the single point for 10th position. And this is their last chance to get points, and I think they'll be very... It's also
Meanwhile,
Tommaso's
Smith
last
has
race for Aston
overtaken
Martin as he
Tugu.
goes...
And look
He goes
at
back to
this.
Red Bull as there's a double move going on here. Oh, Carrigal switches from defence to attack and goes for it on Murray, doesn't get past. And Tugud also unsuccessful in her attempts to get back past Smith for the 3rd time this race.
Red Bull would like Carrigal to get in the mix with the McLarens as well, so he could maybe
still
help
trying
out.
to-
Material, if you look, because Material is looking very fighty, sticking in his nose everywhere he can.
Yeah, and Lidrigram has got places back as well, some places at least, as it seems.
He started 5th, he dropped down to 8th on the start. I think he's back up to 6th position now.
6th or 7th, 1 or 2.
But yeah, he's
Yeah,
down.
he's
He's
up
down in
into
7th. He's trying to overtake Aaron's, but who's rather holding
Dragon
up
is
this
right there as
train
well.
of Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, and there's a
There's
Force
Mondragon now, and he's
Well,
Mondragon on the inside.
Not enough speed.
Not really.
We've got the Force India catching these guys up as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
And that's
speaking of
Sturman off the
Force India.
circuit and running wide, and De Jong will go around the outside of him at the flat left-hander. I don't actually think it has a name, but this next corner does. It's Junsao, it's the last braking zone before the extremely long straight.
And look
Oh,
at
the
this,
McLarens.
two
And the McLarens do make contact as they exit turn 2, and now through turn 3, Tugan on the outside line. They're still
Ferrari
going to be side by side
2019.
next to the corner. Tugan just about gets in front now, coming down towards turn 4. Is she going to go defensive? No, Murray's going
dear.
to send one up the inside, but backs out of that one sensibly as they negotiate the corner, stays in 3rd place. He is the driver's champion, he has nothing to lose, but McLaren do have a lot to lose at this rate.
Imagine the scenes if McLaren take each other out and they lose the constructors because of that.
That
Mondragon
well,
on the
I mean,
outside
never
of
say
Ferrari.
never. It might very well end up happening.
I mean, it's MMS. We've seen multiple things happen. There's
Oh, that's Aaron's going around outside
And that's
Material, who's got
Littlegram.
bogged down on the inside of the corner and has lost 2 places.
and
Aaron's
now
back up into
it's
5th.
a points tie between Red Bull and McLaren.
Yeah, and Littlegram is just.
Oh my
back
God,
up
look at
into 6th.
Pereira.
And Pereira's gone round the outside, and not just Cooper, he's gone past Mondragon. Force India is up
And
into
look at
8th
Johnson as
place.
well.
Johnson absolutely sent it.
Up the inside of Jun Sao gets it done. Kubasek drops down to 11th, having run pretty
And now Aaron's
respectably the
has
entire
a
race. He's
nasty
now outside
surprise
points.
of a Red Bull right behind him, as there is two
I
on the
think-
inside.
Well, the inside line seems to be the way to go through this
Smith
corner,
goes
but
back.
Smith's holding on, but then Tugud shuts the door on him on the
But
at
Smith
turn
has a
2.
lot of traction, as the Red Bull is known for it, and now he's in the slipstream. It's nearly less than a 10. If Smith might
It
make a
seems that the
move.
inside line at turn 4 doesn't
Smith
really
on the
have
inside.
enough grip on it
Yeah,
to
no,
get
no,
past.
no,
And there
because
goes
he lost
Murray now
another
trying to go around
position.
the outside. Is he going to pull that one off? He is. So McLaren are 1-2 for the first time in this race. They are now running 1 and 2.
Carrigal is getting to the back of these two.
And yeah,
3 as
Carrigal
well.
is going
He's trying to go around the outside
it.
at turn 6 and 7. That's surely not going to work.
He's got to work on turn 7 though.
Oh, and Carrigal's going to get past him as well. So he's dropped 3 places on just this one lap. Carrigal, I mean, Race, you were saying Smith would probably want Carrigal to move up the order. Not in the way he wanted right now.
Smith is literally the black sheep in every race we had. He can
He
never
literally
win.
is, yeah.
He will never win anything in MMS. Sorry, but with how cursed he is.
Yeah.
And the McLarens are beginning to pull a little bit away.
And McLaren's won the championship. Sprayed it.
Never say never, though.
I mean,
We're only
watch
at
them
lap
make
8.
contact in the next few laps. That would be hysterical.
I mean,
We saw McLaren
considering-
destroy 1-2 in
Unless you
Hungary.
support McLaren, of course.
Considering I have cursed many drivers this season, me saying the championship is over is pretty much reverse psychology. And
Oh,
speaking of
Marion.
which,
Here goes Joseph Murray up the inside into turn 4, which you've seen not work previously, and again it
There's a
doesn't
bit
pay
of
off.
a
Around the
match.
outside, sweeps the McLaren of Evelyn Toogood, and now here is Marco Carrigal sitting prettily in the slipstream.
Do you guys remember the first race we had this season, Hungary, where
Yes.
McLaren's bottled a 1-2?
They did bottle a 1-2. It was all in the pit stop phase, and Red Bull actually got the massive jump on them in that race.
speaking of
with the-
Red Bull, there is James Smith.
Yeah, the top 4 is incredibly close still. The McLarens, then Carrigal and Smith round outside,
Smith
surely
nearly
not.
on the outside, not enough space left there, but yeah, Carrigal
Carrigal
shuts it
defends the
off.
inside line through Junsao. Now on the exit, Smith's probably going to get better traction, and now sits in the slipstream with
Littlegram
Littlegram
as
still
well.
not able to get past the Sauber.
And
On the
Montreux is sitting behind
outside,
for
but not
Ara.
enough space.
He looks pretty close right now, though. Here he is sitting in the slipstream. Coming into the first corner here in the centre
Carrigal's
S.
going so
And
defensive, it's insane.
Carrigal's defending the position, and Littlegram was not even close enough to get a move on Aaron's. Red Bull frustrated, and again, if you didn't know enough, frustrated. So,
Red
turn
Bull
4, this
was
is where the
pissed.
Sector 1 split is. It's coming into Sector 2 now. It's where Ricardo and Magnussen made their contact. It's where Verstappen and Montoya made their contact in 2000.
Oh,
yeah.
Murray sends
And-
it, another nudge from Murray. He's going too aggressive. I mean, it's his teammate, for God's sake. Oh, speaking of a bit of aggressive, there
Aaron's is taking really wide lines, aiming for extra speed.
Littlegram
That's not going to work
outside,
out though.
that'll
Littlegram
move.
sweeps round the outside, and now he's got Francesco Pereira. Who's like, oh, he's going to lose a place. That's a Mondragon actually. But Pereira was up 5 places. He's now in
Oh,
and
Aaron's
that's
goes
Aaron's.
wide.
He
Aaron's
lost
was
it.
very wide at the last kind of hairpin on this circuit, and is now under pressure from Pereira
Johnson.
and Richard Johnson, who sends one up the inside at Junkao,
Not
and
enough traction that
and
will
he's not able
allow
to get it done.
Kubusek to catch up.
So he's not able to do what he did to Kubusek.
Kubusek
And
is
speaking of
side by
Kubusek,
side.
here he
Look at
comes
this.
side by side of him.
Through the
Down
line,
straight.
he's gonna get it.
He's got the benefit of the slipstream from the cars in front. I think he might pull ahead, but Johnson's probably going to be later on the brakes. He is later on the brakes. Only just
Well,
still
Kubusek
neck
is-
and neck through the corner.
Kubusek still side by side.
Still side by
Johnson's still
side.
there.
on the outside, and Kubusek's got it.
Kubusek's- he's got it. He's got in front.
Oh, look at the front!
Look
But
at
the Red
this.
Bulls, Littlegram managing to clear Aaron's, of course, finally, and it's now on the back teammate. So
Murray
Aaron's
managed
is
to
really
clear
holding him
too
up.
good.
And the top 6 is now closing up. Not only the top 6, got cars behind as well.
Oh, bunching up. Meanwhile, speaking of bunching up, look at this.
Oh dear.
We've got a back marker battle here. This is for, I believe, 21st
21st.
position in this race.
And
We've got
just
4
that
different teams
loses
in it.
2 positions in this.
And so far, Aston Martin is triumphing in that one, which is probably the last thing Aston Martin will ever triumph in.
Oh, look
Oh.
at this.
As McHugh's run wide yet again, and Material gets that position.
Look on the map though, everyone is punching up as...
Well, the two McLarens are kind of in their own little bubble. Still only 1.6 second gap to Carrigal, so they've got to watch out as Carrigal's under pressure
Littlegram.
from Marcus Littlegram, who's
Yeah.
waiting for
Wait,
his teammate.
Littlegram nearly passes Carrigal. Carrigal, though very defensive.
Trying to go around the outside as the McLarens went side by side as
Well,
well.
Mondragon is trying to get Smith.
And Toogood got the lead.
Well, you see, they actually lost 0.3 of a second there, the McLarens. You just got to be cautious when you have these
Oh,
kind
Smith on the
of.
grass.
Sorry, that was Smith running wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smith's gone overtaken by Littlegram. Maybe a strategic way from Red Bull there, making Littlegram the Moses for.
I wouldn't have said that was a good idea though, because Littlegram was stuck behind Aaron's for so long, and yes, he can save his fuel, but that would have hurt his tyres.
I mean,
being stuck
no,
behind the
listen,
Sauber
there's-
for so long.
Oh, there's
Oh,
Mondragon.
it's a move
though.
from Mondragon up the inside.
He's gonna do
and
it on
now
the
he has the
outside,
outside line, which has more. No, Smith says no. He's
no,
not going to be.
Mondragon says no.
He's not going to be
And
defined by
Aaron's
the
is
fact
coming
that
through
that
as well,
corner
maybe.
seems to be
Mondragon's gonna
slower
go
on the
wide,
outside as
though.
Mondragon goes wide. He goes
Well,
very
Aaron's
wide.
it.
That's going to present
And
an
Aaron's
opportunity
gonna
for the
get it.
Sauber, and Aaron's gets passed back up into the top 6. He has been poaching on other people's mistakes all race long, and he's taken another position as
And
a result
Murray
of it.
has quite a big gap to his teammate.
1.6 seconds again to carry. 1.7 actually, as they come across the line, and Littlegram
And
is
there's
looking
gonna be a
hungry
move
to
from
finally get on the
Littlegram.
podium. Here he comes for the first time this race. Marcus
No.
goes for the podium, and it
What?
doesn't pay off. He's
Aaron's
too
and
early on the
Smith.
brakes.
Nearly.
What are the brakes of Marco Carrigal made of?
He literally has been able to defend from Littlegram at every single corner, every single
Meanwhile,
cross.
we're
And now
one
here comes
third
Joseph
into
Murray.
the race, and Murray fails to make the move.
If you've just tuned in, well, first of all, thanks for coming to the broadcast. We are on lap 12 of 33 here at this wet Brazilian Grand Prix at the
Oh, look at
Interlagos
Agnes
circuit
and
in Sao
Blanc.
Paulo, Brazil. As we're looking here at the battle for 13th position, we've got an Aston Martin ahead of these guys.
Martin
What on
is in
earth is going
12.
on there?
Is this like the manner in Brazil 2016?
But I don't think But unlike Canada, I think that's genuine, consistent pace.
I mean,
As
Tommaso,
Jean-Luc
I
Blanc, who
think
started way behind his teammate, is trying to make a move on him here around the outside.
He's
At
gonna
turn
send
9,
it. He might go
Switches
wide
to the
here.
inside on Agnes. Gets
This
it done.
corner doesn't have grip.
it's done.
Well,
He's
Douglas
gone
comes
a little
back,
bit
no.
wide, and Pereira will be sent to an opportunity. Pereira has dropped down to 16th position, having been running as high as 7th.
You know, look at this. They are getting bunched up a bit here. Look at
Oh,
look
dear.
at Littlegram. Look at Littlegram. This is
Murray has got past as well.
Littlegram's up the inside of Evelyn too, good here, and now the outside line for turn 2, which turns to the inside of turn 3. He's ahead just about, but Tugad has the better speed.
And look at
Coming out of the
Smith,
corner,
he's
they're going to be
absolutely
neck and
out
neck.
of the
As
circuit.
Tugad and Smith both run wide. Littlegram is ahead by a few
that's what I
hundredths of a
did, yes.
second coming into turn 4. Tugad on the outside holds the position. Smith holds the
Smith
position
gets
on
Carrigal.
Carrigal as well. He's
The two Mercedes
finally
as well, two Red
got
Bulls and
past
McLaren.
And look at
the
Mondragon.
Mercedes. Mondragon gets past, well, the two Rebels almost make contact through turn 6 and 7. That was very, very risky going side by side through there. It's a very tight and narrow corner, and it's taken at high speed. Not to mention it's blind.
And keep in mind it is a wet race. Mondragon!
Up the
Mondragon
inside,
pushes
both
his
going to wash it up a little bit
teammate
wide, and Mondragon holds on to it only just, unlike on
Aaron's
the previous
outside
lap.
of Kabusek.
So a lot of shifts in positions here. It's really been a roll of a dice as to whether they're going to get past us.
2.7
Murray
second gap.
has absolutely screeched into the distance.
Oh no!
Oh, it's
Oh.
Maximiliano Tomasos without a front wing. He was running in the top 12, trying to take. He's trying to take a
He
point.
wasn't at points. He wasn't at
He's
points.
trying to take a points
what
position.
happened here?
Oh, what's happened here?
Sorry, wrong button.
So, hang on, one of the
happened?
Renaults went wide. So what's happened here?
I think it's
It's Matthew's
material.
material.
He just looks up.
He's trying to get past Sage, and he locks up and goes wide and onto the grass. And trying to rejoin the circuit, he's going to spin out here, and Tommaso has nowhere to go. Oh, that is
that's
so
gonna be a penalty
unfortunate
for-
for him.
That's gonna be a penalty.
That would
for
have
Mathieu.
been, I think, 11th place for him.
Yeah, if
That's a
not even
penalty
10th.
worthy.
I mean, that sums up Aston Martin's season, well, Virgins as well, miserable.
Hey, but there's Kaltakayan in 20.
And he's down in 20. Now, Carter Kane will take 20th place, but he needs to 10 position going to emulate what his teammate was doing.
I mean, he can do that. It's just it's doubtful.
It's not impossible, but it's very improbable.
And there's
Pereira.
Pereira
Now,
down the
That's a
inside.
lovely move from Pereira, doing a little dummy on Jean-Luc Blanc there.
And Agnes
As,
is stuck behind Tamer de Jong.
I'm trying to hold off Agnes, who's holding up another big train of cars. I've got both Williams cars. We haven't mentioned them once this race. Both Williams is qualifying behind not just an Aston Martin, but a Lotus as well. And they haven't really managed to improve on that.
Meanwhile, the top is very separated. To be fair, I'm surprised
Yeah.
to see that. We've always seen those guys bunched up, and just to see them be kind of spread out. Speaking of which, there is Aaron's.
I was just trying
He's
to
going
make
to
a
run
point
wide.
for Mercedes as he's going to join the merge of a Mercedes on Mercedes Sauber team for the next season. He's going to be in that top team, which has merged now. But, well, he should be able to get
have
into
a
a better
12
car.
team though.
Well, yeah.
For season 4, if the vote goes through. Meanwhile, Smith not really making a move on that.
So actually, what's interesting to note here, we have the two McLarens in consecutive position. We have the two Red Bulls in consecutive positions, and we have the two Mercedes in consecutive positions, followed by the Sauber team, which is pretty much the Mercedes junior team at this point.
I mean, it always was.
So, Littlegram leading his teammate Smith Just ahead of them, Evelyn Too Good, and then it is still a 1.3 second gap to Joseph Murray ahead.
Meanwhile, Evelyn Too Good with the fastest lap.
Joseph Murray's been one of the few people this season who, when he takes the lead, is actually able to sort of pull away straight away. I mean, he might get caught later on, but he is able to bridge the gap a little. Sorry, not bridge the gap, extend the gap a little bit. As Littlegram runs very wide, Smith trying to go around the outside of him on the run up to Jun Sao. He's pulled ahead just about.
No way.
Smith's gone it.
He's going around the outside. They're still identical on the exit. This is where Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso had their infamous crashes in 2003. And Smith is just able to edge in front. Is he a car length in front? Yes, he is. He's managed to get a full car length in front, which means he now dictates the road. And he's held on to third place.
When are we expecting pit stops, by the way?
No clue.
Round about now, I'd say. We're on lap 16 of 33, just approaching half distance.
Meanwhile, Mondragon is looking hungry to get that P5 of his teammate.
Carrara and
at the back.
Caboose having a bit of a battle down the odd. Oh, look at this.
Oh dear.
Speaking
We've
of
got Carter Cahill making the move on Jankowski for 18th place.
he cannot
That's
even
not
use
quite
the
going to work
outside
out for
line
him.
because the Aston Martin is so slow. He cannot even use the outside line properly. I think it's because of the chassis, which is just a boat.
Oh.
I would like to say that, yes.
The young
Yeah, this is just a massive pack in there.
Definite shout for Willem de Sturman, who has been he cannot navigate his way in the rain, I think.
Can I point out Valyak is down all the way down here? Meanwhile,
Yeah,
his
Valak
teammate
as
is like.
well. I mean, Valak had a
battling with
very bad
Mercs.
qualifying as well. Oh, there he goes. He loses the grip. And
De Sturman now has the inside line for turn 11. Sorry for my little death
Skinner.
there, as they all are going to
Look
run
at
wide of that.
this.
Lotus the opportunity to snatch a position or two, and it does snatch 2 positions there. Very opportunistic driving.
That's
So
what you like to see. Oh,
now,
no.
well, actually, I'll tell you what. Tommaso, if
Sorry
he,
to cut in
if
there,
he
but
only
Tsunoda
has
is
to
trying
make
to
one
overtake
pit
Murray.
stop, it's not the end of the world for him. Because he's now, of course, in clean air. Yes, the front wing change takes longer, and it's long
Mercedes
trundle
in
back to the
clean
pit
air,
lane. But still,
but they are catching up to him, the leaders.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I'd
he may
like to
not
remain-
be able. He may not have to make another pit stop, but he's in
You know,
clean air.
despite Aston Martin having a boat of a chassis, it doesn't swim well in the rain as well.
It's it somehow was running better here than it has at any other circuit. Maybe
I mean,
excluding Canada.
Interlagos is quite a challenging circuit, and despite being so short, it gives us amazing racing. But yeah, even the worst teams don't really.
I mean,
get
look at the
along.
slipstream here for Evelyn Too Good catching up to her teammate.
I don't think it's enough though.
It's not enough going into the corner, but she has now caught him. Murray was like 3 seconds ahead at one point, and not anymore. Yeah, Carragher's caught up to Lettergram, and he's fallen a bit behind from Smith. So is he just trying to protect his teammate here? I have no idea.
Smith is catching up to these two again.
Here comes Evelyn Too Good up the
Once
inside of turn
again,
4.
and
That's
once
not
again,
going to work out though.
There we
Shut
go.
absolutely enclosed on the apex of the corner by her teammate,
And
pretty much
Smith in the
forced
background.
into giving them on. Yeah, that is not a sight you want to see in your mirrors. Now within a second of the McLaren of Evelyn Too Good, and just over a second between himself and Murray. Now into the
This isn't
final.
over yet. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
obviously,
not over yet. No, you might see with the pit stop phase.
the
It
pit
seems that
stop
all season
phase.
long, the overcut has been the way to go.
yeah, and McLaren hasn't really used it until the final few races when Murray has capitalized on that.
And won the championship.
As
Yes.
a result of it, yes. But
Yeah.
take Hungary, for example, they had a 1-2 finish, particularly bag. The pit stop phase came around, and it was completely gone.
Yeah. Didn't do good crash after the stop in there?
No, that would have been Australia where she crashed out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was weird
McLaren
to see.
hasn't been the luckiest with the pit stops this season.
Well, yeah, Smith has now. Smith is caught up to these guys. Littlegram is also
And the
There's
Mercedes
Liverpool
is as
do
well.
it again.
to turn 4 again,
Why
and that was a
should
lot
he
closer.
be
than
That
our-
Smith is now
trying to
so
make a
much
move?
closer to these two now. He's
Yes,
closing
he's
on.
called 4/10 in that one corner because, of course, the two McLarens compromising each other. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to play this a bit smarter here at McLaren.
If they want to win the constructors, which at the moment they are set to take,
The Woking outfit, yeah.
but we still have
If
some
Smith, if
left to
Smith
go.
gets past one of the McLarens,
That changes.
well,
40-30 no. McLaren still take it by
Oh,
5
McLaren
points.
will still take it. If Smith comes in second, though, because it's a 5-point gap, and both McLarens would still be in front of at least one. One McLaren is in front of at least one Red Bull.
Yeah.
And with the race win
Unless,
being worth 7 points more than second place, it's quite a clear win for McLaren. So we have only just crossed half distance in this race. We now start lap 20 of 33.
well,
and this
no,
constructors championship
James,
is still very much
I think you're a bit wrong, because if it's a 2-3 finish for Red Bull and 1-4 for McLaren, I think.
Yeah, no, but I mean with the with both
point.
McLarens, with one McLaren ahead of one Red Bull, in both cases.
Too Good is not learning on her mistake, is she?
Well, here goes Smith now. This is presenting a fantastic opportunity to the Red Bull. Smith, who's now inside into turn 6, but obviously an overtake. He only backs out of it quite sensibly. There was surely going to be contact there.
Yeah.
So,
But the Red Bulls are getting closer to these two.
Oh my
Little
God.
Robert's now caught right back up, and that's Mihail Valyek, who's season
Lawnmower noises.
running very wide.
still
Actually,
makes it
I think every time Valyek's been in a good position, he's either crashed out or lost his wing.
No, he actually finished a few races in the points. A few is a small number in this case.
Yes, precisely. So, back to the front, and yeah, Little Rom is right behind his teammate now. Oh, he's got past him, in fact. He's actually managed to get up into third place. So the Red Bulls have swapped places in their quest to get past the McLarens, but is that Little Rom trying to let his teammate pass? I have no idea. He was so early on the brakes. He holds the position, but that just cost Red Bull 1.5. That just cost them practically a second to the McLarens ahead. That was very unnecessary.
Do good again.
Again, she's not learning.
Is she not learning from her mistakes? Exactly.
Does she have amnesia? Like all dementia, like there are medicine that you can take. Like the pit crew can
Mid-race,
hand it
though.
over to you.
And I do think actually, if Joseph Murray, for example, crashes out of this race, and Smith comes second or wins it, there's going to be the conspiracy theory that Evelyn Tuga took out Smith deliberately at her F. Because that will, if that is the case, Murray retires and Smith gets at least third place, there would be the case where if that had not happened, Smith would have been champion.
Oh,
So
well.
there's going to be a very big conspiracy theory brought about by that, if that's the case. But right now, Murray's
I don't
plain
think there should
sailing
be
out in
any
front.
conspiracies.
He's led the
went
last
full-on
7 or 8
dum-dum.
laps. As the Mercedes are now catching up a little bit. Well,
And
actually,
Smith
sorry,
sends her.
Aaron's is trying to get.
Aaron's is up the inside, actually, of Mondragon.
Olivia Zage is catching up to this pack.
Toro Rosso.
Oh
my
wide.
And
That's
They
very
like
wide.
the
from
grass.
Smith
Oh,
and
there's
Carragher.
low fuel.
fuel.
Smith is on low fuel.
That's a low fuel. Yeah, that is low fuel. And he's not pitting this out, and he's just been over to Carragher.
Carragher also on low fuel.
He's also on low fuel. So Smith, the first one to give us an indication that the pit stop window is just around the corner.
There's the Young pitting.
So De Jong is the first one who's going to pit. De Jong is going to open the pit window here in Interlagos.
Obviously, Tommaso.
This is Tommaso just behind.
and the McLarens.
They're all low on fuel. This is reminding me of Season 1 Brazil, where Valyek...
Oh, that's very wide from Smith in the Red Bull.
And Carragher maybe can capitalize on that. Oh my god.
This race has just got interesting because the pit window is now open and we have a Mercedes splitting the two Red Bulls, so we have an inconvenient situation, I'd say. Is probably the best word to describe Red Bull situation right now.
Dominated the whole season only to lose
not
in the 2
pitting.
races. They're not pitting.
They're not pitting. Is everybody going to grind to a halt here?
I mean, Smith was the first one to show the low fuel
okay,
signs.
Johnson is in the pits.
Zage has
Johnson is
overtaken
in the pit.
Mondragon. Jones is coming in.
Eugene's also coming into the pit lane. So it seems that the guys behind, it seems that the guys at the know the
Pereira.
seems to be the fastest. Everyone at the front, if they know the overcuts the best, they're going to use it. But does that mean everyone's going to come into the pits at the same time and risk
We
running
need
out
to
of
keep
fuel?
an eye on Smith though, because he was the first one to show low fuel.
He
Not
was,
Smith.
yes, and he's currently furthest behind out of everybody who showed
Yeah.
that. So if anything, if anyone is going to run out of fuel, it's going to be him to run out first.
Yeah, and then
Again,
He
He goes
runs
wide.
right there again, and now Aaron's is all over it.
this is not what Red Bull wanted.
No, they haven't won a race in a very long time.
In a very long time, yeah. And Aaron's is now looking to maybe get Smith. Is Smith
When
gonna
was their
pit?
last victory? Was it
Smith, is he gonna
Doing
pit?
too good.
No, he's not.
Smith stays out? Murray and Tugan
Murray is
almost side
pitting
by
in.
side. Murray is pitting.
Carragher. Smith
Smith is not.
Smith is staying out. He's really running this close of his fuel.
This is my reaction to this whole thing.
Aaron's is
okay.
pitting this lap as well.
This is the... it's you're still
Took
trying.
it again.
Yeah, Evelyn, yeah, just... Hashtag not my McLaren driver.
Yeah, remember to use that.
Okay, Agnes is pitting at least.
Johnson is
There's
spinning out.
Kayan also pitting. Johnson has just gone out.
Yeah, this is gonna be... Smith is either gonna play very smart and overcut everyone, or he's gonna run out of field and make himself look stupid.
I am stupid. Just
I mean,
cute.
Smith is trying to overtake Carrigal. I don't think he's gonna pit this lap. And what did someone said? If the light comes on, they have 3 laps. If Smith's not gonna pit, he's gonna run.
If he's not going to pit, he's going to run out of field.
Same
Yeah,
as
sorry, I had
Tugud.
to go on mute there for a second. But yeah, into the
cue
pits,
the
dives,
funeral
Joseph
music.
Murray,
One of
two
the cars, anyway.
and in goes Littogrom. Smith is
Smith
staying
stayed
out.
out.
There's your confirmation. He
Okay.
has stayed out. He's running the fuel as close as he can. He's using every last drop of
That
that
Mondragon staying out as well.
Mondragon has stayed out and has
and
got past
Zage,
Olivier Zage
and
as well, who's also stayed out.
McHugh.
So both Toro Rossos are playing the long game
Okay,
here.
there's Murray.
Right, there goes Murray. Is Littogrom going to come out
Zero.
ahead of Carrigal? Yes, he is.
He got a bit held up by Material there.
Similar pit stops.
Obviously, Material gonna get a penalty for taking out Tommaso.
Oh yeah. Okay, Smith and Tugud are both in this lap.
Will they make it though? Fastest
Who
lap
has the
to Jack
fastest lap of the race?
Agnes.
Jack Agnes in the HRT with the fastest lap of the race.
Once
I mean,
again,
HRT's had a very good season by their standards. They've gone from being the worst team on the grid to regular midfield runners and regular point scorers.
Yeah. They've done miracles with that.
It's been a superlative season for them, if anything.
In
But
before they
Tugud
run
now
out
going
right before
down
the
for the
exit.
final time on this stint. We're on lap 25, about to cross onto lap 26, and we're going to see how powerful the overcut is here. Let's have a look.
If they
Tugud
play
dives
this
in.
smart, Tugud and Smith are looking good to take go on.
And Smith has made it to the pit lane
Yeah,
on
that
his low
was...
fuel.
Mondragon. What Mondragon? What Tugud in?
Well, Mondragon's also into the pit
Mondragon's
lane.
also in, probably.
Yeah, but
Zage
na-
pits.
Tugud-
McHugh will be in the pits as well, and is that going to hold her?
Tugud's
Yes,
held up
she's
a
been
bit.
held. And what about Smith here?
Smith just been dropped. He's gonna get jumped by a mile here.
Yeah, it's actually even slower than Tugud's. It's
Mondragon
really
jumps
slow.
him. Mondragon jumps
Mondragon's
him.
got ahead.
And there's Littogrom.
And there's Littogrom.
Murray.
That's
Yellow
Littogrom going
flags
past, so
momentarily.
Littogrom is going to
The
take the
overcut
position.
didn't work. I
So
knew
the
it.
undercut has actually paid off more dividend. Well, it's been pretty equal, because look where Mondragon is now.
Tugud did jump Murray.
Mondragon's going to come out just behind Carrigal, a lot closer than Mondragon. So the overcut did work. It's
Yeah,
just
Tugud
that
has got past.
it's not very it's not as effective as previous races. And Smith down to 7th.
And Red Bull's day has gone from
It
bad
has
to worse.
all unravelled for Red Bull. It's gone from bad to, and there's Tommaso in 15th. I told you, watch out for him. He's still in the hunt for points here.
In before
How,
the pit
how
stops
unlikely
that.
it is, very. But if there's a mass collision or something, he will swipe up those points for Aston Martin.
McLaren is looking really likely to get this 1-2 and the Constructors' Championship.
And the Constructors, yeah.
Very
I mean,
likely.
Red Bull were leading the Drivers' Championship. They had a 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. They were 25 points clear of any other driver. The Constructors' Championship, they were completely dominating, and then we rocked up to the second part of the season. I think it was Australia which really set off the chain of events that ended Red Bull's season, really.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Australia
since
wasn't a
then,
good
they
race.
haven't won a race. They've hardly stood on the podium. And in every race, at least one car has lost a front wing or a rear wing or something.
Yeah.
No retirements so far though.
That's impressive, yeah. And a wet race
Before
like
we
this one.
changed it, then have both McLaren taken it. Sorry.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
He makes contact. That'll be lucky not to have a puncture on Evelyn Tugud's.
Oh, you're
That's
looking.
opportunistic move into turn 7. Sorry, turn
Carrigal
6
has
and
got
7.
back past Mondragon again.
The two Rams catching. Well, no, Carrigal was always in front of him. Mondragon was
Was he?
just. Mondragon just came out a little bit behind him
okay.
as he to the pit lane. It's roughly the same gap as it is now.
Yeah, but Smith has lost a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with his pit stop. It was just so much slower than everyone else's. I thought, oh, he might be away. He should be away now. And then I saw Mondragon going past, and then the big problem here with the Red Bull.
Murray.
Oh, he's catching
Oh,
here.
he's
Too
gonna do
good.
it,
She's
he's
going to
gonna
do
do
the
it, he's
inside
gonna do
line.
it. He's
Into
gonna
turn
send
1,
it.
perhaps. No,
Sends
yeah.
Yes, he's going for it. He's right. He's quite early on the brakes, though. It's very sheepish.
Tugud fights
Driving
back.
both of them. Murray gets
Doesn't get it
past.
done.
Back into the
Murray
race
fast.
lead with 5 laps to go, or 6 laps to go.
Is Tugud gonna come back? She's loved that move into
Look at
turn 4,
Littogrom now.
never
Look
to
at
make it
Littogrom
work.
within a second.
she's not gonna
It's going
send
to
it.
get
She
very spicy here.
finally learned.
You say that, but watch her do the same
Jesus
thing.
Smith.
He's dropping off from Einar Aarons here.
I think he's just got the depression in the middle of the race. I think he's just.
This is embarrassing at this point for Red Bull. How has it gone this bad for Red Bull?
Yeah.
2 championships in the bag, and somebody cut a hole in the
possibly
bottom of the bag, and they've both fallen out. Because McLaren look like they're about to take a double championship clean sweep.
Yeah, unless something dramatic happens between these two. Littlegrim is catching as well though, but it's
He
not
is,
enough.
though.
It's
And would a
not
strategy for Littlegrim here be to take out recently?
What if Littlegrim gets somehow to the lead and these just 8-2-3 and Smith stays 7th? I wouldn't know.
Well...
Smith gets to. Oh, not.
Well, actually,
seventh.
yeah, Red Bull would win the championship. If Littlegrim could take the race late, Red Bull would win the championship
Well,
because...
no. Smith needs to be 6th for that to happen.
No, because it's a 5-point gap, correct?
Yeah, 5 points.
It's a 5-point gap, so if
Count
Red Bull
back.
come first and
Count back.
7th, that's 31 points. If McLaren comes second and third, that's 33 points. Because winning the race gives you so many more points than anybody else. Red Bull would win the constructors, but it's a tall order to get past not just one McLaren, and he has to get past 2.
Littlegrim literally needs the McLarens to come together, or if you could and get too good right here, right now, as he's really close to her,
I mean,
and then go off
It's
the
5
Murray.
laps to go.
since Imola,
Littlegrim did get a race win last race, if I recall correctly, like on the line.
on the line, yes.
Never say never.
I mean, Littlegrim practically, if we exclude that Suzuka victory, which I have completely forgotten, such was its importance, well, his last real good race was Imola, when he could have taken the championship lead and he bottled it on the final lap to Einar Aarons, who you can see in the back of your screen there.
Yeah, I forgot. Aaron's
And
is
since
like
then, well, that set off Red Bull's season as well. Just absolutely torrid luck since then for the pair of them.
Watch Tugu try to go for the turn formula again.
For the 20th
And
time
she
or
doesn't
something
have
at turn
brakes,
4.
and we have oh no moment.
And he
Here we
goes
go,
for it.
Here we go. Still no success ratio for return 4 for anybody.
And the
think-
Mercs are coming as well.
I think Evelyn, please stop going for it through there. How many times do you
please
just-
go
just
and actually
kill
get
him
damage.
already.
How many times does one need to fail at something before they realise to become a bit more sensible? Because it's not like that's the only place you can overtake on this circuit.
No, but again, she
It
has
seems
an
to be the only
my
good. Like,
God.
oh,
That
Littlegrim,
might protect
Wait,
Carragher.
Littlegrim is low on
Wait,
fuel.
he's low on fuel. And so is Carragher.
Oh, and so is Murray. Oh, this is
Oh
getting-
my word.
This is getting
It's
crazy.
just got very interesting.
Carragher, no.
Well, if the fuel thing is 3 laps,
No, it's
I
not
mean, it
3
is
laps.
lap
It's
31.
not 3 laps. It's not 3 laps.
this is now lap 31 we're starting.
It's not
Carragher,
3
no.
laps because
Carragher is going up the inside of Littlegrim, making
There's
contact, and
Mondragon.
Mondragon sets an opportunity here and might get past.
Mondragon, no.
Mondragon has got past, he's up in a 4th. Andrew Mondragon stamping his authority on his teammate up into 4th place.
Yeah, but he's not gonna beat. It's his final race in Mercedes.
Exactly, but he still wants to stamp his authority on you.
Mondragon is going to like F3 if I recall correctly.
He has
If
been
he
impressive this season.
no, he's going to
That
FJ.
we can say with certainty. He's been impressive.
Yeah.
He's going back to FJ, I believe. I don't know.
I think that's
yeah.
a waste, really.
Not really.
he's
I
alright
mean,
to FJ.
Keep in mind, Mondragon. He was like an FJ. Did a race
no,
alone.
he went to
McLaren.
Formula E. He went to Formula E and FJ. I
Yeah,
believe.
Formula E. Yeah. Well, we don't know unless like Michael gets
Yeah,
both teams.
He's
I mean,
come
the
through
vote
John
is
Sano.
pretty
Let's
much
go going
passed.
defensive for whatever reason through that, compromising his exit. And the 2 McLarens just need to make sure they don't hit each other. We
And
have
we want them to hit each other.
2 more laps to go for McLaren to
Dugan is really
sweep
close.
Season 3.
She may go
Do
for
it,
move.
do it, do it.
Up
Yes.
the inside she goes. They make contact, and Murray's on the.
How is that not damage?
Tuga that's got past.
How is that
She's-
not damage?
But
I
Murray-
saw-
Finally got through.
But Murray is on
Murray's
the
ready
back,
to
and
go.
Murray is gonna get the amnesia moved on. Of course.
At turn 4, yeah, we're just going to call it the amnesia move at this point.
And
But is
Mondragon
Littlegrim too
Aaron
far back
has got
to
past
pass them
Carragher.
both?
What is this? Someone's
And
in the
Smith is
pits, and
still
it's
in 7th.
Tommaso.
This is embarrassing at this point for the ex-championship leader. He's down
No,
in
that-
7th and unable to prove. There's a bloody Sauber in 5th
Carragher is
place.
having a brain fart. He can use that.
He's trying to go around his outside there. That's not going to work, is it?
It's got. I
Oh,
mean,
he's
it,
still
it
behind.
works there. It works. Mostly the outside works on this circuit.
Meanwhile, in 8th place is Olivia Zaich in the Toro Rosso, and I
Driver
think
of
in
the
9th
season.
is Shane McHugh, although Zaich has got a little bit of a train of cars behind her.
Here we go, boys.
And
So,
is it
starting-
not going to be the final lap? Yeah.
Yeah, this is
It
gonna
is
be
the final lap. We are starting the final lap of Season 3. It's been a roller coaster of a season. Really much a season of two halves.
Too good has it. Too good has it.
I don't know about that. You can
Murray's
overtake
going to try
a
the amnesia move.
You can overtake a Junsao, which is
And
the
with
final
S's
breaking zone.
and
We've
the
seen
S's,
it.
guys. You're forgetting the S's and the outside.
Here we go for the amnesia move. Joseph Murray, he's going to try it, and he's going to fail it once again.
Have they not learned? But I mean, it doesn't matter for McLaren
They don't
unless they take each other out to this final lap, which is not going to happen. What happened to
Well, we're
Smith?
coming into Sector 2 for the final time. We have Evelyn 2 race. Joseph Murray just behind. Murray looking to take his 5th win of the season after he lost it on the
Littlegram, though. Littlegram is gaining. Well,
Murray
let's say
lost
that.
it on the
Take
final lap
hashtag
last
not
race. He's
McLaren
about to
driver.
lose it on the final lap at this race, unless he can get past the Junsao.
Which is
And he's a
not
little
gonna
bit too
happen.
far back, I would say. So it looks like
Oh my god, Mondragon!
Oh,
Mondragon's
Mondragon.
going for it on Littlegram. This is not going to work out. Littlegram defends
But-
it well. But coming up the hill for the final time,
Hashtag
is Evan
not my
McLaren
teammate Joseph
driver.
Murray. Tuga's going to win the race, but McLaren are your new Season 3 Constructors
Mondragon.
champions. They take the clean sweep as Mondragon almost beats Littlegram to the line.
Only just.
Hashtag not my McLaren driver wins. Okay, down the rest of. Oh dear.
Aaron's 4th. Wait, hang
What?
on. Was Aaron's 4th? Or no, it's
No,
5th.
fifth.
He's
As
fifth,
Littlegram runs out of
still.
fuel. Littlegram runs out of fuel.
There's Kabusek Materials gonna drop back. Then we have Mathieu Pereira, Agnes, Birdie defending from Eugene. Then we have Counter Kane in 16th. My man.
Carter Kane beats out both
the
Pontuses.
young pits on the
Coming to
final
the
lap.
pits.
He's run out
Oh
of
no,
fuel.
he's learned.
He's
Is
run
that
out of
Skinner in the
fuel.
pits again?
He's
Wait,
run
hang
out
on.
of fuel in the pits. I don't think
De
he
Jong
finished the
learning
race.
from his ex-team. No, actually, no. Hang on. They're still their teammates
Lo-
again.
wait.
So Skinner's clearly passed on her knowledge of, Bahrain.
Oh my
Oh dear. Oh dear. We've had a wreck.
You...
Oh dear. R Factor AI. Well done. Well
Where's
done.
Smith?
Where's he gone? Hang on. Change camera.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was just an awkward. Oh my god.
Oh. Mondragon, you should have done it in the
No,
race.
hang on, an Aston Martin's still going. Can we say an Aston Martin that won the race?
There-
Tommaso's still going.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he
let's
like got
go.
fuel.
Tommaso's still going. He's the only car left going.
Let's go,
All the cars
boys.
make it back
Victory
in.
lap.
Oh, it's
Lap
fine.
before
Oh no 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 no.
Oh no, no.
He's still going. He's still going.
He's done it the furthest.
He's gonna complete the last. He's gonna complete the slowdown lap.
Let's go, boys. Okay, fastest lap. Who got the fastest
Oh
lap?
wait, isn't it?
Agnes.
Jack Agnes one
Jack
one
Agnes
hit 5.4. This race's commentary turned to absolute bulldogs.
I mean, it
Who
is the final
cares?
race.
It's,
Come
it's the
on.
final race. Come on.
And he makes.
He's
He's
not
run
a-
out of fuel. He's trundling down the pit lane.
He's not running out of fuel. Nah, he's fine.
Let's go, Tommaso.
Tommaso for the
And he
champion.
lost. There we
Righty.
go. He made it back to the garage. So that concludes not just the race here at Sao Paulo for season three in general, and
was-
it's been eventful.
Yeah. Driver of the season.
Well, it has to be our championship winner.
No, I wouldn't say so. No, to be honest, I think the biggest surprise. I think Aaron's was one of the biggest surprises, and also Mondragon. Let's be honest.
Can we give a shout out to Renault though for constantly
Yeah, Renault.
outperforming their cars throughout the season,
Yeah, and also
particularly the
Olivia's
start of
age.
the season?
Come on, Olivia's age.
Oh yeah, she got a podium, didn't she?
No, I don't know, maybe, but she's just OP. Let's be honest.
She got 2 5th places in a row, I think, at Magny-Cours and whatever was after Magny-Cours. I've forgotten, to be honest.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been season 3. We've had our eventful races, a boring race. Had new champions crowned in the form of Joseph Murray and McLaren. for drivers and constructors respectively. We hope you've enjoyed this season, and bring on season 4, I guess.
Yeah, next week. See you next week on the preseason testing. This is going to be an absolute crunch week for me because I have to put every single engine sound into the mod, and I haven't done that yet. And I have to set up every single thing in 1 week. Love you too, guys.
So use the hashtag help Kai.
Hashtag not my
That's right.
McLaren driver to support the charity. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for coming so much. This was an amazing way to host the first season of so many changes in MMS. Era 1 is officially over. Now we're moving on to Era 2, and this will be another completely different era in Formula 1. We have Formula E setting up, we have Formula Junior back to the MMS roots, and MMS F1 being, I think, one of the more entertaining championships. A lot of rule changes await us, a lot of amazing battles, and a lot of action. Thank you for coming so much, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to be safe on roads, wear your seatbelt, and don't drink and drive, that's dangerous. And, you know, social distancing as well, that's quite important. Wear your masks, wash your hands, and see you next time. Bye bye.